a guard, that I do think was left off, who I really do feel strongly should be there. And that's Brittney Sykes. I think Slim, before she got injured, was having an amazing season. She was a top 3 scorer at the in the WNBA. She's averaging 20.1 points, I believe, before she got hurt as a guard, right? And I just, I think she deserved to be there, and like, I love this tweet that the Tempo put out last night. Of course, they're going to advocate for their player, but she's the first player in WNBA history to rank top 3 in scoring through 15 games without earning an All-Star selection. And that's kind of like wild to me. And I did this little, comparison between her and Marina, because Marina Mabrey did make it. And that's her, her backcourt, teammate. And, obviously Marina's played more games because Brittney got hurt. But we know that Brittney, she's considered like one of the best two-way players in the league. She is often guarding the opposing team's best player. And so while her efficiency is not always as good as Marina, she's still like a 3-level scorer. She gets to the line pretty well. And like she shoots from the charity stripe really well. And if you can get to a place where you allow Kelsey Plum to be on the All-Star team, and I get it, Kelsey Plum was having an exceptional season, she's scoring like almost 24 points per game. So she was having an exceptional season, highly, highly efficient. But based on what the record of the Sparks was or is, and I understand that with Kelsey Plum, they have a winning record. I just don't see how we get to Marina making it, Kelsey making it, but Slim not making it, So I really do think if I had to pick a snub, and I think there are other players that had cases, but if I had to really pick a snub, I feel pretty strongly that Sykes was snubbed.
I think that's totally valid. I'm such a fan of Slim, so I really get it. And I think that, she had a tough first game of the season, and there was some chatter online that I didn't like from casual people, in my opinion, who do not appreciate the greatness of Brittney Sykes as a teammate, as a player, as a person. Just such a lovely person to talk to. And you outlined what makes her so special as a basketball player. I don't think I'm entirely with you on the snub, and I totally get it. I think that for me, the efficiency thing is what stands out. And if Slim had played 20 games right now, or 19, or however many Marina has played, I think it would be a closer conversation. It is true that what Brittney Sykes brings on defense is far and away greater than what Marina Mabrey brings on defense than what Kelsey Plum brings on defense. I think the gravity portion of this is where I can't quite get there. And frankly, if I was to pick a snub, and again, I just kind of said that I think everyone's deserving, so I don't really have an issue with anyone being left off, but the WNBA is so good and so full of talent that inevitably there are going to be these players who we look at. And as the Tempo tweeted, and I love that tweet too, it's like, they're right. Like they should fight for Slim making it, because she has been at a level that in many prior seasons she would have made it. And the league just has so much talent this year that, well, who are we going to leave off to replace her with? Veronica Burton's the player that I would put in there if I had to name one who didn't make it, who I'd love to have seen make it. And this just goes to highlight what we value in terms of all-star selection. It's always a tricky dance, right? Because it's like, do we value the team context and winning and what a player does for winning? Do we value the individual statistics? Ultimately, we are media, we're fans, we're smart consumers of the game. It's a balance. It's a mix. We take all of it into account and weigh what we weigh, and we come out with a conclusion. I think for Brittney Sykes, the fact that she's only played 15 games, she's shooting 27% from 3, 47% on 2s. She's got the volume statistics. Marina is shooting 40% from 3 on almost 9 attempts a game.
For sure.
The gravity that Marina has provided is just warping the defense. She dropped 53. And again, it's not to come after Slim, who I'm such a huge defender of, and who on both sides of the ball just impacts the game in ways that are hard to explain. In transition, her pace. I mean, I love Slim. For me, I would choose Veronica Burton because the Valkyries are currently a half game out of first place, or 1.5 games out, whatever they are. They're second in net rating, and Veronica Burton's efficiency doesn't jump off the screen either. Her counting statistics surely don't jump off the screen in the way that Marina or Brittney Sykes's do. But you look at her on-off numbers, you look at the way in which Veronica Burton impacts a game and makes this team run, and she's as good as anyone could have expected. So I would lean Veronica there, but I think a lot of these players, no matter how you slice it, have a real case, and I can't really argue with whatever the eventual decision was.
For sure. I mean, the analytics love Veronica Burton. I can't get there with her for All-Star. Not when I look at the other guards and I compare her, but her impact is definitely immense to the Valkyries, and for sure, she's an analytics darling. So there's definitely a case for her, and people were making it. I couldn't get there for her. You know, there's been a number of names that have been thrown out as potential subs. So I kind of put together a list of who those could be. And like some, you know, like Jordan Canada is having an amazing season. I just don't think you can get to 4 All-Stars for the dream, you know. But she really is having a great season. I'm gonna skip Camila Cardozo for a second. AZ Hive, AZFC. Like, I think AZ is having such a great rookie season. And of course, her coach advocated for her. But I can't get there for AZ either, not this year. I think she's having a great rookie season. And I'm pretty sure probably by next year, she will be an all-star, you know? But I don't think she's an all-star yet. Dearica Hamby, like, we're not going to be giving the Sparks three players. That's just insane to me. With all due respect to Dearica. And this team has one of the worst defenses historically, not just this year, one of the worst defenses in the league, you know? And so, look, some of this stuff is reputational, right? Because NECA made it. And, you know, it's easy to be like, well, you know, what is NECA even doing this year? But because everything she does is so quiet. And then you go and you look, and I'm like, damn, she's still having a great season. And I feel like, Owen, I've never seen Nneka Ogwumike miss a shot ever in life.
Ever.
She's just so efficient. And so, but yeah, I don't think you can get to a third All-Star for the Sparks, right? And so I have Carla Late on here because I just think she deserves a shout out. She has numbers comparable to many of the guards right now who did make it. And I think probably ultimately record hurt them the most. But I think she's having a tremendous season. And I think she is putting up all-star-ish numbers, you know? And I think that's notable. And Kayla McBride, I feel like she got like a little bit of a late start. I am curious who the injury reserve might be for Kelsey Plum. And they don't have to go guard. They can go any player. If they were to say Kayla McBride, because the Lynx have the best record, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like if they got 4 All-Stars. I don't know what direction they will go, but I don't know. Another reason why I would have loved if Brittney made it is because she's going to get an injury replacement anyway. So then you could have still, you know, someone else could have still gotten in. Yeah. So, you know, Alyssa Thomas is interesting this year because she's still, by all measures, a very, very good player and having all-star numbers, but Phoenix just hasn't been good this year. And I think that's the case for Kalia Copper as well. So when, you know, Nate Tibbetts, you know, goes and he makes his statements about them, I understand because he's the coach and he has to advocate for them. And, you know, he feels like they should have made it. I truly do understand that. But at the end of the day, like, it's hard to justify you having 1, even 2 All-Stars where you see the Mercury's record is this season, you know?
It's tricky with the Mercury case. I was hoping we'd get to them because they are 8-14. They've had a really difficult schedule, and I do think that it's unfortunate for them. They've had a lot of players in and out of the lineup. They obviously lost Satu in the offseason, and they've just had a lot of turnover when it comes to not knowing who's going to be available. I think it hurt Ka when the voting happened, because she has been on an absolute tear, just hooping. It just unfortunately came at a time when a lot of the voting had already occurred. And Alyssa Thomas probably should be in there. She probably is the player that should be that injury replacement. It's tricky. They just haven't been what we expected them to be so far in this season. And there's a lot of reasons why for that are certainly not Ka or AT's fault. AT still will have the numbers, etc., but maybe hasn't been quite to the level of triple-double MVP candidate AT that we've become accustomed to. And I think that's why, with Phoenix not, being 3 games out of the 8 seed at the time of this taping, that's why she has not been elevated to the reserve level yet. But I'd love to see one of these players make it, just because they are all-stars and they are deserving when it comes to their play. And Ka, especially of late, has just been, classic Ka.
She's been tremendous, and I think that's part of the reason why we've seen more recent success from the Mercury. So even though where they stand in the standings, I think they probably will have a chance to move up. The last point I just want to touch on is the fact that there is no Chicago representative in the All-Star game, and the All-Star game will be in Chicago. And at first I was just like, yeah, I mean, there's not, but Skylar's just not having that season. And so I'm just like, they don't have an All-Star. But I have to tell you, Owen, the fans have convinced me. I feel like they've made the case for Camila Cardozo, and I had to take a deeper dive because Camila has also been really great as of late. But I just, I love to do this, again, for fun. But when I take a look at Camila's stats next to Dom's, right? They're both have all-star worthy numbers, and Chicago's actually higher than Seattle in the standings. And Camila Cardozo has played more games than Dominique Malonga. And so we don't get the breakdown for the coaches, right? We don't know who got votes, how, whatever. But, this is another player where I don't feel super strong, oh, Camila was snubbed and she should be there. But if they're we want someone from Chicago represented, I would not be offended if Camila made her first All-Star game. I think she had a game where she shot 100% from the field recently. What was it, 13 for 13 or something like that? I mean, she's been really great of lately. I would say the sloop coming back has been really rewarding for her. And so, I don't know, but this is again where I kind of sometimes I would love to know the coach's philosophies, because I think with Dominique Malonga, what she does is loud and it's exciting when you watch it. And I think sometimes when that happens, people will be like, yes, all-star, and you're excited. And obviously people call her the Wemby, right, of the WNBA. And so there's also just people want to see her do well, and she has been. So I'm not trying to say there's this manufactured push for her, but Camila Cardozo is quietly putting together, I think, also a noteworthy season, and we're probably not talking about it enough. And so I just sort of wanted to highlight her, and say, I'm convinced, fans. I think, yes, she's, is she a snub? That might be sort of strong language, but I think she's had an all-star level season.
Go Gamecocks. She's a national champion. Everyone knows how much I ride for South Carolina. So I would love to see Camila make it, just for that Chicago representative reason. And because, as you said, she's not getting enough love. She has been so good. If I had to do the side-by-side, I would choose Dom, and maybe I'm too analytics brained and not focusing enough on how great Camila has been. And that would be fair. I think that if you look at the counting stats, sure, Camila has more blocks per game than Dominique. Dominique is a way more versatile defender. She covers
For
way
sure.
more ground. She's
Absolutely.
way more efficient offensively. Yes, again, Camilla's been incredibly efficient around the rim. And it's such a good point you make, like Sluty being back really helps Camilla and just is such a perfect pairing for Camilla's growth. Nothing I'm saying is at all a criticism of Camilla, who's been so good and who I'm such a huge fan of. Ultimately, Dominique is a tougher cover on offense. She's shooting almost 40% from three, only 2 attempts per game from three. I'd love to see her shoot more from out there.
We don't want our big shooting threes. I mean, I do. 1 3 to have. I'm not going to penalize people for not being a good 3-point shooter. You know, you're 6'7". I want that big girl at the rim.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I cover the New York Liberty. I cover Jonquel Jones. I want my big shooting threes and being at the rim. I don't think those are mutually exclusive. Look, I get it. Camilla's been phenomenal, and so I would love for Chicago to get a player. They've both been great.
Look, I'm with you. I think it's probably AT, and she would be deserving. But I think that just reflects like there's just been so much great play this year, and that's probably why we have so much parity in the league. So, look, congratulations to the players who did make All-Star. I truly, guys, when we're trying to like dig into these numbers and maybe debate a few things, it's just to play a little devil's advocate and to, you know, to really see what's going on and highlight players. But honestly, every player who made it is deserving. And I'm really looking forward to it. And it's unfortunate for the players who didn't, because they are also deserving. And it's just, there's only so many spots. So shout out to the 2026 WNBA All-Stars. And I will be looking forward to watching them and covering them at All-Star Weekend. Oh, and thank you so much for joining me as always. And thanks to those of you who are tuned in to the WNBA on NBC. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you do not miss out.